Chapel Hart took the stage of America's Got Talent with a sound that was impossible to ignore, a blend of soulful vocals, undeniable charm, and a story that resonated with audiences across the country. They weren't just another musical act. They were a group with heart, grit, and dreams bigger than most could imagine. From the very first note, it was clear that Chapel Hart had something special. But what happened after their GT journey is a story far more complicated than the spotlight would suggest. While viewers cheered for their performances and celebrated their rise, the reality behind the scenes was full of challenges, setbacks, and unexpected twists. Fame on a national stage brought attention, yes, but it also brought pressures, scrutiny, and the kind of obstacles that don't make it onto television. The members of Chapel Hart had to navigate the complexities of the music industry, public expectations, and personal struggles, all while trying to stay true to the sound and image that made them stand out. Audiences saw the polished performances and the moments of triumph, but few knew about the hurdles they faced off stage, the late nights, creative disagreements, and the constant push to transform talent into a sustainable career. Despite the glittering appeal of television fame, the path was anything but smooth. Chapel Hart's story after a GT is a mix of persistence, heartbreak, and resilience, showing that success is never just about talent, it's about enduring the journey behind the curtain. In this video, we uncover the untold story of Chapel Hart after America's Got Talent. From the highs of national recognition to the struggles of building a lasting music career, we reveal the challenges, victories, and surprising turns that define their journey. Prepare to discover what really happened to Chapel Hart, the real story beyond the stage, beyond the applause, and behind the music that captivated millions. Chapel Hart wasn't born in the spotlight, they earned it. Hailing from the southern United States, the group formed from the shared passion of three talented women who loved music deeply and understood the power of storytelling through song. From the very beginning, they had a sound that set them apart, a blend of country roots, soulful vocals, and harmonies that could send chills down anyone's spine. Their journey wasn't about instant fame. It was about building a bond, refining their craft, and finding their voice in a world crowded with aspiring artists. The members of Chapel Hart had each faced their own struggles before coming together. Life in the South came with its challenges: economic hardships, limited opportunities, and the weight of family responsibilities. Music was more than a hobby, it was a lifeline. It offered them a way to express emotions, navigate hardships, and create something beautiful from experiences that weren't always easy. In those early days, the group spent countless hours rehearsing in living rooms, recording demos on tight budgets, and performing at local venues where the audiences were small, but their dedication was immense. Every note, every harmony, and every lyric was an act of perseverance and love for the craft. When America's Got Talent became an option, it wasn't just another audition. It was a potential turning point. The show had launched countless careers, but it was also a high-pressure environment that demanded confidence, preparation, and a certain level of resilience. For Chapel Hart, this meant stepping out of the familiar world of local gigs and small crowds into a national spotlight where millions would watch, judge, and form opinions in seconds. The stakes were high and the nerves were inevitable. Walking onto the GT stage for the first time, the group felt the weight of that opportunity. The bright lights, massive audience, and cameras trained on them could have been intimidating, but they had prepared for this moment their entire lives. As they began to perform, the energy in the room shifted. Judges leaned forward, captivated by the authenticity and power of their voices. It wasn't just a performance, it was a statement of identity. A declaration of talent honed through years of dedication and sacrifice, even in these early stages. However, there were challenges behind the scenes. The pressures of auditioning for a major television show tested their relationships, patience, and confidence. Creative differences had to be managed, nerves had to be controlled, and the delicate balance between personal and professional lives became apparent. Chapel Hart was not only performing for the audience, but also navigating the complexities of turning lifelong dreams into a possible career in the public eye. Sets the stage for Chapel Hart's journey, a story rooted in resilience, talent, and unshakable determination. Before the applause, the cameras, and the national recognition, there was a group of women committed to each other. and to music a foundation that would carry them through the highs and lows of America's Got Talent and the challenges that lay beyond the stage. Stepping onto the stage of America's Got Talent was a dream come true for Chapel Hart. But it was also the beginning of a journey filled with both exhilaration and unforeseen challenges. The national platform offered them exposure like nothing they had experienced before. Millions of viewers could see their talent, their harmonies, and the passion that had carried them through years of small gigs and late-night rehearsals. Yet the glare of fame also brought a new kind of pressure, one that tested their resilience. Teamwork and emotional strength. Performing on a GT was about more than hitting the right notes. Every decision from song choice to choreography was scrutinized by judges, audiences, and eventually social media. Chapel Hart had to find a way to stay authentic while also appealing to a broad audience, a delicate balance that many artists struggle with under the public eye. Behind the scenes, the constant pressure to perform flawlessly sometimes led to tension among the group members. The stakes were high, and even minor disagreements could feel magnified under the national spotlight. Despite the challenges, Chapel Hart delivered performances that were memorable and deeply emotional. Their music wasn't just entertainment. It was storytelling, infused with personal experiences and heartfelt emotion. Audiences connected to the raw honesty in their voices, and judges frequently praised them for their authenticity and stage presence. Yet, even as praise poured in, the group had to manage exhaustion, nerves, and the relentless pace of rehearsals, interviews, and live shows. Fame was intoxicating, but it was also physically and emotionally demanding. And the members quickly realized that the public side of success was only part of the story. Offstage, the pressures of life didn't pause. Chapel Hart still had to navigate personal responsibilities, manage expectations from friends and family, and deal with the realities of preparing for a potential music career beyond AGT. Social media brought both encouragement and criticism. And for young artists trying to stay grounded, the attention could be overwhelming. Every performance became not only a chance to impress, but also a test of endurance and emotional strength. Through it all, Chapel Hart's bond remained their anchor. Their shared experiences, trust, and understanding of each other allowed them to weather the highs and lows. They leaned on each other during stressful moments, celebrated victories together, and reminded themselves why they began this journey in the first place. For the love of music, for the stories they wanted to tell, and for the chance to touch hearts across the country. Reveals that success on America's Got Talent wasn't just about talent, it was about resilience, teamwork, and the ability to endure pressures that few viewers could see. While audiences celebrated the performances, the group faced an intense journey behind the scenes, learning lessons about persistence, authenticity, and navigating the complex world of music under national scrutiny. Chapel Hart's GT experience was a mixture of triumph, emotional growth, and the challenges that come with turning a lifelong dream into reality. After their time on America's Got Talent, Chapel Hart experienced the thrill of national recognition. Fans began to follow them closely, their social media accounts grew rapidly, and music industry insiders took notice. It seemed as though the group's dreams were finally within reach. But behind the excitement and new opportunities, the reality of building a sustainable music career quickly revealed itself. Fame and recognition brought both doors and pressures, and Chapel Hart soon realized that the journey after a GT would be as challenging as the road that led them there. One of the first challenges was translating television exposure into long-term career momentum. While a GT provided a platform, the music industry demanded more than talent. It required strategic decisions, branding, and navigating contracts and opportunities. The group faced tough choices about which projects to take, how to maintain their artistic integrity, and how to remain true to the sound and message that had captivated audiences. Each decision carried weight, and the consequences could shape the trajectory of their career for years to come. Alongside professional pressures, personal challenges also emerged. The sudden attention intensified scrutiny, both online and in real life. Praise and criticism alike came in waves, and it was sometimes difficult to separate genuine feedback from the noise of social media judgment. Chapel Hart, like many artists, had to learn how to cope with public opinion while maintaining confidence in their creative decisions. They discovered that the mental and emotional resilience required to navigate fame was just as important as vocal talent or stage presence. Touring, recording, and media obligations further added to the pressure. Long hours, travel, and constant public appearances created fatigue, testing the group's endurance and cohesion. Even with a strong bond, moments of tension arose, as the stress of turning a once private passion into a full-time career weighed on them. Yet, these challenges also fostered growth. The group learned to communicate more effectively, support each other through exhaustion, and lean on their shared commitment to music as a source of strength. Despite the obstacles, Chapel Hart remained focused on their mission, creating authentic music that connects with listeners. They continued to write songs that reflected their personal experiences, their values, and the emotional honesty that had drawn fans to them in the first place. The group's dedication reminded audiences that success is rarely linear. It requires perseverance, adaptability, and the courage to face setbacks without losing sight of one's vision. Highlights the often unseen struggles that come after the spotlight. While viewers saw the polished performances and the excitement of a GT, the group was navigating a complex, demanding, and sometimes unforgiving industry. The road after national recognition is rarely simple, and Chapel Hart's journey exemplifies the balance between creative passion, professional challenges, and personal resilience required to pursue a lasting music career years after their appearance on America's Got Talent. Chapel Hart has continued to carve out their place in the music industry, navigating the highs and lows with resilience and determination. The journey that began on a national stage has evolved into a path defined not only by talent but by hard-earned lessons, personal growth, and a commitment to authenticity. While the spotlight brought opportunities, it also demanded that the group confront challenges they could never have. Anticipated. One of the most significant lessons for Chapel Hart has been learning to balance creative vision with the practical demands of the industry. Record deals, touring, and media attention require strategy and careful decision-making. But the group has consistently prioritized staying true to the sound and storytelling that first captured audiences. Their music continues to reflect their lived experiences, blending soulful harmonies, heartfelt lyrics, and a connection to their roots that sets them apart from the mainstream. Authenticity has become both their hallmark and their guiding principle. Personal growth has been equally important. The pressures of early recognition and public scrutiny could have fractured their bond, but instead, Chapel Hart has used these challenges to strengthen their relationships. The group members have learned how to support each other through difficult times, manage stress, and maintain their mental and emotional well-being while pursuing ambitious goals. Their story illustrates that enduring success is about more than talent. It is about resilience, communication, and the ability to remain grounded even as the world's attention intensifies. Chapel Hart has also embraced the responsibility that comes with visibility. Their journey has inspired young artists and fans alike, demonstrating that perseverance, authenticity, and a willingness to embrace both triumphs and setbacks are essential components of a lasting career. They continue to perform, tour, and record, connecting with audiences through music that resonates because it is honest, relatable, and deeply personal. In every note and lyric, listeners can sense the journey behind the voices, the struggles, the growth, and the determination to make a meaningful impact. As they look to the future, Chapel Hart remains focused on their mission, to create music that matters and to maintain the bond that brought them together in the first place. Their story after America's Got Talent is not one of overnight success or unbroken triumph. It is a story of resilience, adaptation, and the ongoing pursuit of artistic fulfillment. While challenges continue, the group has proven that they are capable of weathering obstacles while keeping their passion and authenticity at the forefront. Closes the story of Chapel Hart's journey, highlighting the evolution from talented contestants on a reality show to artists navigating the complexities of the music industry with courage and determination. Their story reminds audiences that success is rarely linear, that the journey matters as much as the destination, and that perseverance, authenticity, and resilience define the real measure of achievement. Chapel Hart continues to rise, not just through fame or recognition, but through the enduring impact of their music, the strength of their bond, and the unwavering commitment to the dream that started it all.